Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna work on a request. This is Flat Chenille and been requested a couple times, so I finally decided to do it. So it's very it doesn't look that hard actually. It looks like very easy flat stitch, but in reality it's a bit complicated. The reason being, you know, making odd turns to turn back to add more beads. But I have my own way where you know, I have one segment that's different and then it's repetitious. So you see this part with the two picots on both sides, that part and this, they're all done identical way. So I'm gonna show you how to do this twice, and then, you know, it's repetitious. Every single one of them is done in exactly same way, and you can continue until you get your required length. So to do this bracelet, I decided to make with this magnetic clasps that have loops. So this one has 5 loops, so that determine the width of this bracelet. But today I decided to make it with this one, which has 4 loops, so which means it's gonna be thinner bracelet. So you'll need one clasp. It doesn't matter what kind of clasp you use, but I found this clasp is easiest to attach to chenille, and it just looks gorgeous as well. And then here I used 3 different sizes of beads. I used 8-ohs, I used Czech here, and then I used 11-ohs, I used Tohos, and then I used 15-ohs for picots. I used Miyuki. So you can tell I used all different brands, which means you can mix and match all different brands in this bracelet. It's not a very intricate design where you have to stick to one certain brand to get the exact same beads, but it's up to you. So today I'm gonna work this 8-oh white. This is Toho's. Then for 11-ohs I'm gonna be using this, which is as well Toho's. And for 15-ohs I'm gonna be using this, which is Miyuki, and unfortunately I don't have a code for this. So these are the 3 colors I'm gonna be working with today. And then I'm gonna need a beading threads. I'm gonna be using brown Nymo size D to match with my beads. And then you'll need a stop bead. Then you'll need beading needle. I'm gonna be using size 11. Whatever thread, whatever beading needle you're using, make sure you are using the size that you can go through the 15-ohs 3 times. So most of the bracelet, you have to go through the picot twice, but at the end, when you're attaching threads, you will have to make one more turn, which means you have to go through those 15-ohs 3 times. That's why I'm using size 11 beading needle. Then you'll need scissors to cut the thread. So that's all the materials you need. Thread your needle with comfortable length. You will have to add thread. I think for this one I used 6 yards. I used you know, I always take 2 yards, so I had to add twice, and I will show you how to do that in this video, so don't worry about that. So I'm gonna go ahead, thread my needle, get my beads ready, and then we'll get to work. So I thread my needle, got my beads ready, and now we can just go ahead and get started. So first, take a stop bead, leave a tail of about 1 foot, that will be enough to add one side of the clasp, and then take your needle back through the stop bead to keep it in place. And now we start our chenille. So how many beads I pick out depends on the clasp. For example, here, this clasp had 5 holes. So I picked up 5 sets of 8-ohs, but here I pick up 4 strands. So I'm gonna pick up 4 sets of 8-ohs. So what I mean by that, I'm gonna pick up 1 11-oh, 2 8-ohs, 1 11-oh, 2 8-ohs, 1 11-oh, 2 8-ohs, 1 11-oh, 2 8-ohs, and 1 11-oh. So I have 4 sets of 8-ohs with 1 11-oh on each side. See, I have 1 11-oh, 2 8-ohs, 1 11-oh, 2 8-ohs, and so on. So I have this 4 sets for my clasp. If your clasp has more holes, make sure you pick up more sets of 8-ohs. Don't forget the 11-ohs in between. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just drop it down to my stop bead, and from here I can zoom in and we get to work. So that's what I have. I'm gonna pick up 3 15-ohs, 1 2 3. I'm gonna go back through the only 11-0. Here I am. And then pull my needle. Oops. You can just adjust those 15 O's so they stay in place. So I created one picot. And now I pick up 2 8 O's, go through the next 11-0. Go only through the 11-0. First round can be a bit wonky, but you can do it. It's pretty easy. That's what it looks like. Pick up 2 8 O's, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8 O's, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8 O's and go through the last 11-0. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna pick up 3 15 O's. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna go back through the 11-0. And just adjust those 15 O's so they create a picot. Just pull the needle here, pull the thread. Okay. And then I'm coming out of the 11-0. I'm gonna go through the first 8-0 and pull my thread. So that's what you have. That's the beginning. I'm just gonna flip it over. I'm gonna keep the position like this throughout the tutorial so you understand what I'm doing. From now on, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create, see this section with picots? Every section is done in identical way to the next one. So I'm gonna show you how to do 2, and then from there you can continue on your own. If you still don't understand, just rewind. It's every single section with picots are done exactly the same way. So let's go ahead, do the first round. I'm gonna pick up 1 11-0. I'm gonna go through the next 2 8 O's and pull my thread. Pick up 1 11-0 and then go through the next 2 8 O's. Pick up 1 11-0 and then here go through the next 2 8 O's. And then here we have to add the last 8-0. I'm gonna pick up last 11-0. I'm gonna pick up 1 11-0. I'm gonna go through the last 8-0. And now we have to be able to turn back to add 8 O's. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through the 11-0 here, come back around through the picot, go through the 11-0, and I'm gonna go through the 8-0 and through the 11-0. So basically I made a turn. And now I'm gonna pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the last 11-0. Here, I'm gonna pick up 1 8-0, 1 11-0, and then 3 15-0s. 1 8-0, 1 11-0, and 3 15-0s. And then I'm gonna drop it down. And I'm gonna go back through the 11-0. See where I am? You move those 15-0s. You go back through the 11-0, through the 8-0, and through the next 8-0. And then pull your needle. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna pick up 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s. 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s. 1 11-0, go through the last 8-0 and through the 11-0. And now we have to turn back to add the 8-0s. So I'm gonna pick up 1 8-0, 1 11-0, 3 15-0s. Drop it down. I'm gonna come back through the 11-0 only. Pull my needle nice and tight. That's what I have. Then I'm gonna pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the last 11-0 here, and then come back around through the picot. So I'm just going around the picot. Back through the 11-0. And back and through the first 8-0. So we added one section with the picot. And now what we do, we continue doing the same section over and over and over until you get your required length. So when we were starting this section, we were coming out of this 8-0, and then we started adding 11-0s. So now you are here coming out of the 8-0. Again, you start by adding 11-0s, then come back around through the picot, add the 8-0s, create the picot here, add the 11-0s, create the picot here, add the 8-0s. So every section is repetitious. So I'm gonna do that one more time with you, and then from there you continue on your own. So we are starting a new round. We pick up 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s. We pick up 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s. 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s. 1 11-0, go through the last 8-0, and now you have to turn back around. To do that, we're gonna go through this 11-0, through the picot. Picot allows us to turn back. So you go through all those 15-0s at the top, back through the last one, back through the 11-0 here, and then back through the 8-0 and through the 11-0. And then here we add 8-0s. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the last 11-0 here. And then we create a picot on this side. I'm gonna pick up 1 8-0, 1 11-0, and 3 15-0s. I'm gonna drop it down, and then I'm gonna go back through the 11-0, through the 8-0, and through the second 8-0, and then pull your thread. So you created the picot, then you continue, pick up 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s, 1 11-0, go through the next 2 8-0s, 1 11-0, go through the last 8-0, and 11-0 at the bottom there. Just the 11-0. And then pull your thread. And now it's time to create the picot on this side. I'm gonna pick up 1 8-0, 1 11-0, and 3 15-0s. I'm gonna drop it down. I'm gonna come back round through the 11-0 only. Pull my thread nice and tight, and go back round. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. Pick up 2 8-0s, go through the next 11-0. pick up 2 8-0s, go through the last 11-0, which is part of the picot there. So you go through the 11-0 and then come back round. So I have to go through all those beads at the top. So 150 now, 2, 3, go back through, well, I can't do that. Let's go down the 11-0, well, up 11-0, and through the first 8-0. Again, we finished a whole round with the picots, and you're again coming out of the 8-0. So you start the next round adding the 11-0s, coming back round, adding the 8-0s, and basically repeating the same pattern. So continue like this until you finish your thread, and when you have to get rid of the tail and add a new thread, meet me back here and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So I reached the point where I have to get rid of the thread. You can stop anywhere really. As you can see, I started a new row here and I added here the 11-0, and then that's where I'm stopping. I basically need to change the thread. So all I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna go back through some beads downwards, see, just that. And here I can make one thread. I'm just gonna, one knot, I'm just gonna pick up the thread here, make a small loop, take my needle through. Here I'm gonna go here, and here what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go backwards. It doesn't matter at this point, see? And now here I can make another knot. And then go a couple more beads down. Very easy, no need to complicate it. Here I can go a couple more beads up here. And here I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this tail. All I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut it at the very base. And that's it. And now I'm just gonna go ahead, thread my needle with another 2 yards, and then we're gonna go ahead and add it to our project. So I thread my needle with another 2 yards. Now I have to remember where I have to come out. So yeah, I added here 11-0, which means here I have to continue adding the 11-0, which means eventually I have to come out of this bead. So to do that, I'm just gonna start somewhere at the back. Let's say go here, go through some beads. I'm gonna leave a short tail that I can just hold on to for now. I'm gonna make my first knot here. Take my needle under the thread between the beads. I'm gonna leave a small loop, take my needle through, and pull the thread. And now I'm just gonna make my way up here. So again, this is the bead I have to come out to, so I can just go down and up. Okay, I'm gonna go down some beads here. And here I'm gonna make the second knot. Leave a small loop, take my needle through and pull it. And I'm just gonna make my way to that place where I have to be. Here I am. It's a very easy process, but it's just for beginners. If you don't know how to, it might be confusing. And I'm just gonna go up and come up the bead I'm supposed to be at. And now here, you just continue what you were doing. And once you have your full length, we're gonna go ahead and add the clasp. So I'm done with the length of my bracelet. Now, I like the Flat Chenille bracelet to be nice and snug around your wrist because it's nice and flat. So see how much I've left? This is enough for me to add the clasp, and it's still gonna be snug around my wrist because I don't like this bracelet loose. So now here you can see I finished the whole unit with the picots on the side, came out of the first 8-0. Now we're gonna go ahead, add 11 O's and add the clasp on top. Now before we do that, I want to explain the back side. This is where we started, so you can see they're identical. So here we're gonna add 11 O's, add the clasp on top, and then here what you're gonna do, first you're gonna turn around on the picot and then add 11 O's, come back around and add the clasp. So it's gonna be identical to this side. So I'm gonna show you one side, and the next side you can finish on your own. So I'm just gonna put the things aside, get my clasp, and here I am. First I need to add my 11 O's. So I'm gonna pick up one 11 O, go through 2 8 O's. One 11 O, go through next 2 8 O's. One 11 O, go through next 2 8 O's. One 11 O, go through this 8 O and through that 11 O, and then come back around through the picot. So I just have to take my needle through all those 15 O's. Go back down the 11 O, and if you can straight, well, let me do it one step at a time. I just have to go down this corner 11 O, and then back through the 8 O and through this 11 O, and that's where we start adding the clasp. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold the clasp next to it. I'm gonna pick up one 11 O, I'm gonna drop it down, and here I am. I'm gonna take my needle through the first loop, and here I'm gonna take my needle back through this 11 O we just added. So this is what we have, and then see this 11 O, I'm gonna come around that 11 O. That's it, and then pull my thread, and this is what you end up with. See, just gonna pull it nice and tight and then reinforce it. So I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go up the 11 O, and if you see I went straight through the hole of the clasp as well. Pull my thread, go back down this 11 O, and through the other side again this 11 O at the base. And that's how you attach every single hole here. So you have 4 of them, you can attach them in the exact same way to the rest, this 3 remaining 11 O's. I'm just gonna do it with you, so the next side you can finish on your own. So here I'm gonna go through these 2 8 O's, come out of the 11 O, pick up one 11 O, drop it down. See, I'm gonna go through this hole here, through the second one of the clasp, go back down this 11 O we just added, and see, here we are. I'm gonna go through this 11 O again, and then pull your thread nice and tight. And then again I'm gonna go up this 11 O, through the hole of the clasp, back down the 11 O, and through the 11 O here, and that's second hole attached. I'm gonna go through these 2 8 O's, through the 11 O, I'm gonna pick up one 11 O, drop it down, take my needle through the third hole now, back through the 11 we just added, and through the 11 at the bottom. See? And then again reinforce, go up the 11, pull your needle, go through the hole of the clasp, back down the 11 and through the bottom 11. Always pull your needle nice and tight. So you have 3 of them, we just have the last one. So I have to go through those 2 8/0s, through the 11, pick up one 11, drop it down, take your needle through the hole of the clasp, back down through the 11 we just added, through the 11 at the base, and then reinforce. Go up the 11, through the hole of the clasp, down the 11, and through the 11 at the base. And that's it, your clasp is attached. Look. Now all you have to do is just get rid of the tail. And once you get rid of the tail, go ahead and attach the second side of the clasp. And then I'm gonna meet you back here. And that's how you make flat chenille bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you noticed, it's not a very complicated stitch. So that's how they look. Really gorgeous flat bracelet. Classy look, I would say. And here is with silver and lilac. I quite like these colors as well here. So I'm gonna leave the codes of the beads I know the codes for, and I won't be able to leave the quantities because I forgot to measure the beads when I was starting this tutorial, because usually, you know, I have to measure and then I give you quantities, but for this one I didn't. I probably could guess, but I don't like making guesses. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.